from the beautiful Bernardo Winery in San Diego, California. And I'm joined here today by Ross Rizzo Jr., President and winemaker of the Bernardo Winery, and Weston Naraki, Master Coffee Roaster and Sommelier. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks for having us here today, Ross. I guess we're going to talk about your beautiful Rosado.
Yeah, man. Thank you for being here. This is great.
So first, tell me a little bit about Bernardo Winery. It has a pretty unique place in history, doesn't it?
For sure, especially in my history, because I was born here. This is a third-generation winery in San Diego County, so that's pretty rare anyway. We were founded in 1889 by 5 Sicilian partners, so we're over 127 years old this year. In 1927, my grandfather came here from Sicily. Actually, he came here from Sicily after World War I, moved to Tijuana, opened a really fancy hotel and nightclub throughout Prohibition, which is a pretty nice thing to own during Prohibition, considering everybody in California is bailing to Mexico. Have fun, right? So in 1927, he was up here on a hunting trip and discovered this land and decided that this is an amazing winery. Talked to the owners, who of course were not doing so well, considering alcohol was illegal to sell. So he decided to buy it, and of course, if you add up all the generations, I'm actually a 5th generation winemaker. My grandfather, father, and grandfather had wineries in Sicily. So this was really second nature to him.
What part of Sicily?
Alcamo.
Okay.
Alcamo. So it's about the closest you can get to mainland Italy.
Okay.
So he decided to take this winery over. The second day he owned it, he went out to the Catholic Church and he got all the contracts for sacramental wine. You know, we always joke in the family that we used to sell grape juice guaranteed to ferment by the time you got home, okay. That kind of thing. We also grew a tremendous amount of fruit and vegetables here, and one of the most important vegetable crop, not necessarily vegetable, it's actually a stone fruit, olives. We made olive oil for the tuna canneries in San Diego, which was, of course, the biggest industry in San Diego was fishing, and of course the canning was huge. And they used olive oil, used our olive oil for Mission Olives, so cool. We did that as well. It's a long history. It's a beautiful history, and of course, making wine was, you know, a part of our family from the beginning.
Pretty much runs in the family pretty deep, doesn't it?
Exactly.
And what can you tell us about these? I don't know if the camera can pick this up, but these barrels are incredible.
Yeah, these are incredible. So we're lucky enough to have some of the oldest redwood vats in California. Being one of the oldest wineries, we kept all of these storage tanks intact. So around 1900, a couple of French coopers came to California to make vats like this, like in France. And the nicest thing to use in California that is can hold or can actually extend this length, because this height of these tanks, is California redwoods. So of course now these are impossible to make because redwood, of course, is very rare, very expensive. But back in the day, they had no problem with it. And if you can imagine them building this building, they built the tanks, then they built the building around the tanks of the same material. That's like us building a winery now with oak barrels inside and using oak as the walls and roof. It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, would be amazing, right? So that's the same kind of vibe. These are really big. This is 11,000 gallon tank that we're sitting next to right now. But then, of course, these smaller 500-gallon ones they used.
And this is always open to the public, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can come in here and check it out.
This is pretty historic. So any of you wine history buffs, you need to come in and check this out.